Getting back now to Congressman Mast. He said all of this DEI and ESG and the throwing of race card has nothing at all to do with protecting this country. Whether or not he's white or black or half Mexican or all the things that he said there has nothing to do with protecting this country. Here's the next part. Listen.
That I proved that I could pass whatever tests under stress and duress and be effective in the field under situations that foreign service officers might encounter, like the withdrawal of Afghanistan, the enemy at the gates, people being targeted, trying to deal with countless number of SIVs coming in. That has nothing to do with how somebody looks. It has to do with, did they volunteer to do this? Do they have the skills to do this? Did we test them to make sure they had the skills to do this? Do we hire hard and have the ability to manage a little bit easier? And that's the problem with what I see with what's taking place.
Yeah, would you hire a white person to do the job if they're incapable? No. If you have somebody standing watch for you on that post to protect this country, does it matter to you what color they are? No. As long as they can do the job, it's called meritocracy. Meritocracy, they earned it. They proved it. They have shown their mettle and their ability to get the job done, to stand between you and the enemy at the gate. But this is something that runs deep in the veins of those on the left. For some reason, they have concluded they have all the answers, not just for themselves, but for you and your kids too and everybody else. They think you don't even have kids because they belong to everyone. They belong to the government. And that arrogant attitude runs all the way to the White House and, of course, the relic stumbling around in the Oval Office, regurgitating whatever he is told to say. President Joe Biden pushing the culture war agenda every single day he's let out of his cage, misleading people to hang on to power. Listen.
You know, I've toured many sites across the country that clearly show climate change is a genuine, is the existential threat to humanity. The existential threat to humanity.
The culture wars. Climate change is not the existential threat to mankind and to the United States. China is. And I have found one of the most remarkable things about the loud and proud culture wars is how little they actually know about what is really going on. How little they really know. I mean, the idea of so-called gender-affirming care for kids is wildly unpopular in America. We've talked about that. More than 70% of those asked rejecting hormone blockers and radically mutilating kids' bodies. It is already being outlawed in several European countries because they have seen the damage it does, permanent damage that can never be corrected. The United Kingdom among those taking the lead and shutting down the gross experimentation on kids, their genitals and their minds. Like it or not, whatever sex you were born, that is who you are forever. No matter what you have cut off, and if parents authorize that, like I said, there should be stiff prison sentences because that will be about the only stiff thing left.